Welcome to Colombia! Today's topic: cost of traveling to and in Colombia. Welcome, beautiful people all over the world, to the travel channel of Colombia. My name is Frank, I'm Swiss, and I'm living in Colombia for over 5 years, and I'm running a travel agency here in Bogota. Currently we're in lockdown, so there are no clients, so I have all the time and energy to invest to help you, the visitors and viewers of my channel, to give the best advice you can get. So traveling around Colombia is actually very cheap at the moment. The current exchange rate is 4,000 peso for $1. Super cheap, super cheap. So actually, international flights, what do they cost? When coming from Europe, I saw you can get flights as cheap as $600. And coming from the US, you can get from Miami, I think, for about $200. So that's nothing. And traveling within Colombia is actually very, very cheap, not just because of the exchange rate, but in general. So when you arrive at the airport, what will the taxi cost you? Usually, a pickup from the airport, a private pickup transport costs you about $25. If you just take the cab from the taxi stand, that will cost you, depending where you're going, around let's say between $7 and $9, which is quite reasonable. When you're taking the Transmilenio, you take the bus, we have that here, you pay only 60 cents, which is very cheap. And with those 60 cents, you enter the Transmilenio system and you can drive all around Bogota all day long if you want that. Then also, when you want to have a coffee, when you buy coffee on the street, it will cost you as little as 13 cents. And when you want to go to Juan Valdez or whatever fancy coffee shop, then it will cost you up to 160, which is still very cheap. Then of course you want to get around in Colombia, you can do that either by plane or by bus. If you fly, you can get flights actually for as little as $20. Usually I would say going to the main destinations with not the cheap carrier, that's about 150 to 200,000 pesos. That will, let's say, $40-50 in average you need to calculate for a flight. Then when you're hungry, lunch. Here, for example, in my neighborhood, you have a public market, and you also have people cooking in containers and some tables, and there you pay $2 for lunch. But it's like huge, it's big. And usually when you go to a restaurant, you have a decent lunch, you pay 30 to 40,000 pesos, and this will be, let's say, $10 to $13. So you see, still very good prices also for food here in Colombia. Then when you go to a hostel, usually prices start around $7. So you see, very, very low. Then also in hostels, you can get up until $35 when you have private doors or something like that. And also, very interestingly, in hotels, sometimes the rooms are not more expensive than hostels. So you can get a hotel room as cheap as $10 a night, and it's not like the worst crappy hotel you can find. It's not luxury, of course, they will not have a spa, but you will have a room, it's clean, and hotels can be very, very cheap all around Colombia. Then when you move around by taxi here in Bogota, usually it shouldn't cost much more than $5, depending on the route. But of course, when you will drive through the whole city in Bogota, will cost you like a little more. But usually with $5, you will be fine. Then wine is a bit more expensive here in Colombia because there is not lots of wine production. Mostly is imported from Chile and Argentina. So usually you should calculate a drinking bottle of wine $20. Then when you buy beer in one of those street shops or even on the street, that should not cost you more than like 70 cents, which is very cheap. That's also a reason why many students are drunk on the weekends on the street. Then exactly, when you take overland buses, that's also very cheap. Big distances you should get for about $15. Then when you go to the supermarket and you want to buy a big pack of coffee, that will cost you less than $2. If you want to buy some premium coffee, that will cost you about $5. So very, very cheap. I needed to buy some jeans, and not just in the cheapest shop, but in a shopping mall, what's the name? I forgot. But those are a good pair of jeans, and they cost me $12 a piece. So very good. And nightlife, very important for you. When you go out, usually drinks will cost you about $5 in good clubs, and beer is usually much cheaper. It will be below $5. And very interesting, the bottles. When you go to a club and you order a bottle, that usually costs you between $20 and $50. Bottles in clubs, when you hit the nightlife, are very cheap. At least comparable with when you go out in Switzerland, when you go out in Zurich, a bottle easily costs you $200, $300, $400, which is ridiculous, but that's it's a different planet. Then also something very interesting, great food is very, very inexpensive here in Colombia. Let's take Restaurante Leo. It was 1 or 2 years ago became member of the 50 best restaurants in the world. Restaurant Leo here in Bogota. They have this degustation menu. You get like 9 courses, and it's meant one of the best restaurants right now here in Colombia. And per person, this menu costs you about $40, $45. You can include also the wine, that will be more expensive, but I think it's about $40, $45, and this is like top of the top. There are not many countries where you can that quality or that type of food for that little money. Then if you're on a budget, I would say if you're a backpacker and you want to travel around Colombia, if you want to fly and you also want to visit some sites, if you budget $50 a day, you should be fine. You should have a great trip, also being able to drink a beer here and there. $50, you can survive and travel around in Colombia. If you want to have a luxury travel, of course, the sky is the limit. If you want to book with me, you can spend $1,000 a day. That's no problem. I will help you with that. We'll organize you the helicopter, private jet, and pickup fleet to drive all around Colombia, whatever you want. So those are the prices when you travel to Colombia right now. It's a good moment to consider traveling to Colombia in the future, because it's a great country. There's so much the country offers, great destination. And yeah, I hope that helped you to get a little feeling about prices and to budget travel to Colombia. If you like that video, if you find that information helpful, I welcome you to subscribe to the channel, to hit the bell. If you have more questions, write them down in the comment section. You will find some more stuff in the description. Do not hesitate to contact me if you're interested in traveling to Colombia. And that's it for today. I send you all the best wishes. Take care, be safe, be healthy. Take care of your parents and your family, and see you back soon here on the channel, or even better, here in Colombia. I say bye and see you soon. Here's Colombiafrank. Bye bye.